Okay, hi, I'm Mirko. This is Kisi's challenge number 1. So I'll walk you through the code. So first of all, when application starts and did finish launching with options, first of all, I call the beacon manager shared and start ranging. I'll explain beacon manager now. So beacon manager is a singleton, so it has that shared property, and in initialization with private override init we assure that it has only one instance, and in that instance we set delegate to self and we request the always authorization. Also there are some fields like manager, which is core location manager, estimate UUID, which is the string of estimates UUID. You can change that to whichever you like. And we have last timestamp, which we'll use for checking every 4 seconds to send that request to server. Okay, so we requested the always authorization, and we called the start ranging. So the start ranging checks if location is enabled. Location enabled is private method which first of all checks if location services are enabled. If they are not, it will return false. After that, if it's enabled, we'll check the authorization status. So if it's not determined, restricted, or denied, we'll return false. And if it's authorized always or when in use, we'll return true. First, when we start the app, I think the authorization status is not determined, so it will return the false and it won't execute this anymore. But because we are a delegate for this manager, I've implemented this delegate method which says did change authorization. So if it was not determined and we change it to the authorization always or when in use, will start ranging. So it will call again this method. So if you change that to, let's say, always, it will check if location is enabled. It is. And we then create the UUID from estimate UUID string. Then we create the region with that UUID, call it estimate, and we start ranging for beacons in that region. So in core location manager delegate, we implement did range beacons. So first of all, we dispatch the main queue and we check for new timestamp. New timestamp and old timestamp need to be more than 4. That means more than 4 seconds. And if they are not, it won't do anything. If it is, it will change the last timestamp to new timestamp and it will execute this code. So this code first of all checks if there are any beacons. So it can be the empty array of beacons and it won't do nothing, it will just send the notification lock. If we have any beacons, we use the first one because they are ordered by accuracy, and we check that accuracy to be between 0 and 0.5. Why between 0? Because beacons can send -1, which means that they cannot determine the accuracy, so it needs to be more than 0. And if this is true, we send to the REST client to unlock the door. So what is the REST client? It is the class that has a static private string which you provided, and it has the static function or static method, the unlock door. So first of all, we create the URL from this string, then we create the request from that URL. We set the HTTP method to post. We set the HTTP header fields to content type application JSON, accept application JSON, and authorization what you provided. And we then create the session, which is the shared data task with that request we created, and in completion we get the data, response, and error. So again, we dispatch the main queue And first of all, we check the error. If we have error, we don't get the data. If we don't have the error, we get the data. So if any error occurred, we'll send the lock. And sorry. And if we got the data, we'll send the unlock. So sorry again. And we'll send the unlock notification. So what is this notifications? Is the class that has two static functions or static methods. One is the lock, and the second one is unlock. And what it does, it passes notification with strings lock and unlock. And who receives that is the main view controller. It's the first one in the tab bar. Okay, so main controller, first of all, it has the state. Every lock has a state. It can be locked or unlocked. And the default state is locked. When we start the app, the door should be locked. And we have that image that we need to change. When view did load for this main view controller, we first add observers. So observers, of course, observe for those lock and unlock notifications. And if we get lock or unlock, we'll call the lock door or unlock door. So these are two methods which basically do the same job. And they call the same private method. So if we got the unlock message, we'll send the state of unlocked and image of unlock. And if we got the lock message, we'll set the state to lock and change image to lock. And first of all, we need to check if last time it was locked or unlocked. So if it was locked and we got the lock message, we don't need to change anything. Or if it was unlocked and we got the unlock message, again, we don't need to change anything. So only when we need it, when we got the other state. So when we get the other state, first of all, we create new lock image view with that image and set it to frame of this image view. So it will be in same frame, let's say, same position, same size. And after that, we call the UI views transition, and we said, okay, we want that old lock image to change to new lock image, and we want to execute that in 1 second. And that animation we need is transition cross dissolve. So after that is finished, we need to change the new lock image to the lock image. So if we had the unlock, it will transition to unlock, and then it will change this image view. So that's here. And the last thing we need to do is to change lock to the new state. So if state was locked and we got the unlock, we need to change that state. So that's the challenge number 1.